Hello, welcome to another edition of the Illumination Weekly. So we're looking at the week of August 12th through the 18th. The year is just hurrying along, isn't it? I'm Duchene, your host, and I'm going to be using or reading from the Illuminating Journey Cards that I created with the help of the Akashic Records. And of course, you can find these cards on my website, jenduchene.com/illuminating journey cards. I did want to mention it's a pretty intense week. The 11th, which is Sunday, Uranus goes into retrograde. That's a big deal because it takes a long time to move, slow moving. It's in Taurus, so we're going to definitely feel some earth shaking, some going into the depths of what makes things real, what doesn't work. Uranus really is shocking change, just changing things. Really does move us into a new energy. And we have an Aquarian full moon that's happening on the 15th, which Uranus is tied to. So there's another factor in it, as well as Jupiter coming out of retrograde, and both of these planets stand still for a bit, and Uranus certainly longer. It's been already at standstill for quite a while. So you can feel the energy moving up, and Jupiter expands everything. We also have the Venus star point that is being highlighted by the sun this week and impacting on the full moon. So there's a lot of moving, shifting, changing. We know we're entering a new time. The Aquarian moon is about change and bringing in new ideas, new inventions, new ways of doing things, changing our reality, basically. And of course, the Venus star point brings in this new energy. She is going to be coming out the evening star, so it's that warrior energy of the female rising that is also generational impact of the people, that whatever's happening now is a generational thing. So we know all of those things. So that's a pretty big deal. We also have the Lionsgate portal, that is the galactic energies that come in and help us expand, that is closing on the 12th and 15th, which is the mid part of August. These are the midsummer nights of August, so midsummer. So we have all of these intense festivals and energies that are ancient and new, kind of swirling around and changing shape, changing us. So just be aware that we have to stop moving away from this kind of reality that we've clung to, that the fear, all of the stuff that's happening is in creating fear, and the fear stops us from seeing the bigger picture or allowing the light to come in. And it will keep us stuck in patterns if we don't kind of open ourselves up to the light, to what is coming in. All right, so lots happening. Let's see what the cards have to report. So I've already shuffled them to see what we need to know this week. And the first card is the Soul Portal number 6, which is a fascinating card because this is like the tarot deck, kind of the lovers in a sense, the alchemical marriage, the idea of bringing the male and female together in a unity. Everything we look at, even the things we are disgusted by or afraid of, is on a line kind of opposite to something we might think is fantastic. And so we have to stop judging things and saying, oh, that's bad, that's good, and find the middle ground. Like, what does it need from us to be whole, to be seen as whole, to be healed, right? We have to heal the things we are afraid of or that we consider bad. Now, remembering, because we recognize or have compassion for things does not mean we don't set boundaries and that we don't hold people responsible. In fact, the number 6 is about responsibility, but it's about not being a martyr, it's facing the truth, right? And in actual fact, Uranus is going retrograde at 6 degrees of Taurus. So this is a very earthy energy in a sense. The 6 card is also said to represent Venus. So that's pretty interesting. And in fact, there is the symbol here. Well, it's Mars and Venus here, but that's very interesting, right? As you can see, the female has the sun above her, the male the moon. So in traditional, what we would think of traditional, it could be the opposite, though in the ancient times, the female was considered the keeper of the sun. So this is a very luscious card. The snake, it could remind us of Eden, of the time of Eden, and how we need to work together. And when you look at this idea of male and female, or any form of opposite, or we consider opposite day and night, light and dark, whatever it is, good and bad, all of those things that we label as certain things that are sun and moon, they're opposite. Like in a full moon, the sun and moon are actually opposite one another. They're in opposition. So how do you bring things together is by recognizing what is the role of each part. Because everything has beneficial things about it. The female is the creator energy. The male tends to be the energy that takes action from the creation, right? So actually goes out in the world and manifests something from the idea of creation. And the water, the liquid, this is about filling yourself up or really drinking from the well, from keeping things moist, not getting dried up from fear, and then bringing to life this, what it is we desire, the change. So there is going to be a lot of change. So we have to know who we are, and we have to stay with that energy of being activated through love. To me, this card also represents love. The 6 is also a number of love. It's combining the male and female, the 1 and the 0. It's bringing together birth, this idea of being loving and connected and nurturing to yourself and to others, to your community. So I think that it does indicate that we are going to have to be very nurturing and loving to ourselves, not judgmental or hard on ourselves, not being martyrs, but really, feeling the compassion, feeling the pain, weeping from the pain, but also getting up and spreading the light, doing what we can to get out there and support others and ourselves in this situation. When we stay in fear, then we close ourselves off from one or the other, right? It's impossible to be in fear and experience love at the same time, right? Or be experiencing giving compassion and feeling hatred. So those are all the things that allow us to bring these aspects of ourselves together and to soften and allow those aspects to happen with others too. So again, as I said before, this isn't about saying, oh, you can do whatever you want to people, because the truth is people will do whatever they want. They don't ask our permission. However, we can set boundaries. We can say, no, that's not what I want, that's not what I accept. And we are being pushed as a society, as a world, to truly get clear with our boundaries, really have those difficult conversations, really begin to tell people this is not acceptable, instead of pushing everything under the rug and keeping quiet about it and hoping that it'll go away. It's not going away. It's all here. Everything under the rug is starting to come up, and we're in it. We're in this shit that's rising, and we can't run from it. We have to do something different. We have to recognize that all of this stuff is rising because we have not dealt with it, or because we've named it terrible, so we can't look at it. Now we're being forced to look at it and go, okay, what needs to change here? What can I do? What can we do together? Okay, So let's move on. So here we have the number 3. It's interesting how this number shows up quite often in readings. And what's fascinating about it is here we have the number 6. And that's there's a little bit of yellow, right? Here's the sun, here's the yellow, the 3. So of course, 6 and 3, those are both emotional numbers, numbers that speak of love and our passionate connection to ourselves. 3 is the number of creativity. 6 is the number of, and I call it the number of self-love. 6 is the number of family love, love of community, all of that stuff. 3 is also the number of our year. And I always talk about it as being this number of joy, of creativity, of birthing something new. 3 is a very sacred number. I talked about some of the sacred energies that are happening right now. And 3 is that triad. We have it showing up in all kinds of things. Mother, father, child. We have goddess, the crone, the matron, and the young girl. That's the father, the whatever. They have these in the church. They have different things that are triads. I don't know all the triads off by heart, but as you know, in our world, there's a lot of 3s. It's a very powerful number. It brings together, right? There's an anchoring when you have 3 that creates grounding, right? 1 root is great, but when you have 3 roots or 3-legged stool, then it's grounded. It's got 3 aspects. So it's reminding us of the importance of when we're creating, like in this stage, when we're in a space where there's a lot of havoc and a lot of things coming to the surface that may be uncomfortable and hard to deal with, that we want to create grounding, that we want to get creative in with our thinking. We want to get curious. We want to open up. We want to be in an adventure. What is this stuff about? Tell me more. I'm curious. I want to know more. So open-minded. We have to approach all of these things with the idea that we are creating something new, and everything has the potential to help us create the new things. So we mustn't dismiss it just like, oh, that's terrible, that won't work. But really, what will work? Let's try it. Let's really get our hands into what needs to change, and let's start trying and working, because we don't get wisdom through talking about stuff. We get wisdom by doing things, right? Acting all aspects of ourselves, the spirituality, the physical, the mental, the recognition of body, mind, and spirit. There's another 3, right? So I also always see this as a key. So to me, this is very much, there's the key, or, could be the top of a dog's bone. I don't know why that's coming to me, but it's the idea, the excitement that, if a dog has a bone, then they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. They're so intrigued and they want to chew on their bone, and it's a special thing. So just like a key, it's something special, opening up new worlds to us and allowing us to love and be in amazement and joy with what we're experiencing, and how we can actually change the fabric of the space we're living in, right? It's like it doesn't need to stay stuck, and Uranus is just not going to let us, hold on to everything being the same. It is through change that we realize that, there is nothing permanent. The permanence has to come from within us, knowing who we are in this moment. And how we know who we are is by what action we choose. So we can be in fear, we can be uncertain, but if we take action, then we get more confident and we lose the fear, because we're in motion, we're doing things, we're changing things by taking action. So that's the powerful thing, right? So interesting. This is amazing that we have these cards coming up. So the 23, which is the 5, is considered the most powerful number in numerology, and it is called the King, what is it called? The Royal Lion, right? So it's about, so here we have Leo. We've talked about some of that energy already. And here we also have this energy. And interesting, so here we have the cycle of Venus. The symbol here is Venus. So again, we have a repetition of Venus. We have the lion energy. I've talked about the lion's gate, the Leo, all of this stuff coming to the fore. This sacred energy of being here at this pyramid, at this place, with this idea of being willing to confront the Sphinx, and the Sphinx who is the one who asks us the riddle. And if we can't answer the riddle, then I don't remember what happens. Something happens if we can't answer the riddle. But the truth is, here we are. I mean, that's in the traditional sense. But here we are, being confronted by the riddle of life, the riddle of the meaning of what it is we are seeking to know and do. And in fact, the number 23 stands for or translates to the word life, right? The word life adds up to 23. So there's all these aspects. That's the mystery of what's unfolding, that it's things we cannot understand with our what we know with our mind. It's the unknown. It's connecting into the wisdom of the present moment and the mysteries that are around us. And being curious enough, being willing enough to go on that adventure, to ask the riddle, to quest with wonder, and be willing to journey into the land of mystery where we don't know where it's going, because we want freedom, right? And this is an opportunity for freedom. So what I feel about these cards is this is a very powerful reading. I think this is a very, very powerful week we're about to embark on. And it's powerful for many reasons, but it is giving each of us an opportunity to connect to the power within us, our power that is being activated within us, that allows us to truly know who we are. Not be like who other people say we are or who we think we're supposed to be, but really becoming who we are. These curious beings that have the ability to create a new reality. And we're being called in this time to recognize the higher power of the divine and what is within us, and how we can engage, all of us, in connecting to the divine, and how we can use our curiosity, I'll have it upside down, how we can use our curiosity and joy to truly transcend our differences and the things that annoy us about others, and go, yeah, that's okay, but what's under this all is, if I can be loving and curious and open and be willing to really do what I need to do, really get curious about everything and research it and test it out. It's not just the mind, like, oh, let me think about it. It's really get down and do it. Get into the garden, get your hands dirty, start working with this stuff, right? The theories you have, put them to the test, because we are going to have to really get real. And this is about our freedom, and it's more than just, the surface things we say, but this is a deep spiritual time of transformation. We're opening a gateway to a very different opportunity, and we're being invited in, and we're being supported by the divine, by the guidance of the universe, by whatever we believe in, whatever your source of belief is. Just know that you're being supported, and just allow the change is going to happen, and that you're in the middle of it. You're taking part in an historic time, and You are being changed. And so the things around you that you have looked at may go away, may collapse. But ultimately, it's you being in joy with creating in the mystery that'll move you forward and move us all forward into a whole new way of being. All right, my lovelies, let me know what landed for you, how this reading felt for you, or if you saw something that I didn't mention. I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment. Please like and subscribe. Share if you feel called. And as I mentioned, if you're interested in your own deck of cards, you can find them at jenduchene.com/Illuminating Journey Cards. And I will see you next time.